Hello. I will show you how to create, how to save and load data generated by Python using a package I created, I believe, like a week ago, with Python, obviously. So first things first, we're just gonna go access our desktop. Now you can do it so in your GUI way if you have Windows or Mac. I'm just doing it through the terminal. And after we've accessed, we've gone to our desktop, we're gonna create a folder called example. All right. No, example. Then once we've created the folder, we're gonna access it, obviously. And now we're gonna create a virtual environment here, so that we install the packages we want exclusive within that environment we've accessed. Right. So we're gonna call it venv, virtual environment VMV. And now we're gonna activate our virtual environment. Source. Okay. And now here this is where we'll do all the installation of what we need. So we're gonna install pip install rlish, which is this package that saves and loads information. Okay. Now that that's done, we're just gonna install NumPy. Maybe it hasn't been installed in this virtual environment, so we'll do that. Okay. And let's take some time. Okay. And that's it. That's done. Right. Okay. And we're gonna create a file, and we're just gonna call it main.py. Okay. Actually, let's just call it. I'm just gonna call it script. Okay. Okay. Now we have a script file, empty, right? And we could access the whole directory, example directory, in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so you'll see that we have that empty Python file. But for now, let's keep things simple, and let's just create some data, just using the terminal. So we just type Python, and let's get started. Just import the package we've just downloaded. It's called rlish. Import rlish. We import NumPy, and now let's create some data. Okay, so let's just create an A tensor, so a three-dimensional matrix. MP dot actually let's make it fun. Random integer. So random integers from 0 to 10, and let's make it a let's keep the things simple. 4x4x4 tensor. So, and of course, you need to import NumPy as NP. You need to give it an alias if you're going to use the NP alias, right? Okay. So you should actually, you should have it re-imported as this, right? So now we've created our three-dimensional tensor. Okay. It's three-dimensional because you have 4 matrices. Each matrix has 4 rows, 4 columns. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to save our matrix using our rlish module. And it is as simple as just typing rlish.save, then name, the variable, followed by the name we want to give it. And we're just going to call it, let's be specific, 3D, actually tensor 3D. And let's give it an extension, okay? It could be anything, right? So it could be, I'll just call it Jimmy. Okay? And that's it. So now if you want to see, right, where we've saved it, so it's created a tensor, this file, right? It's saved the tensor as tensor3d.jimmy, the extension. It's serialized, so that's why you cannot see all the information here. It will just be binary code. And then we also have a meta file, and here you can read it. It can be read, right? So the meta file just contains, for now, right now, with the rlish this version of relish, it just contains the serializing format, which defaults to pickle. We have two different formats. It's currently. First one is pickle, which is the default, which is the most popular, and the other one is joblib. Just type like this, joblib, right? And that's usually, it's typically used for storing tensors in a more efficient, faster way. It's also used a lot for machine learning models, and because it's more efficient in loading the high dimensional data. All right, but for now, just keep it as this, as it, and so yeah. So let's see that. Let's also create a different file, rlish dot, and let's save a string without even like having to declare it individually. Let's just declare it within the save. So let's just create a string called hello world. My name is Jimmy. Okay? And smiley face. And now let's just call this secret message. And let's not give it an extension. Let's see what happens. Okay? Now if we go to our directory, we'll see that it's created a secret message variable containing our string, and also secret message meta, which contains just a default format, serializing format, which is pickle. Okay, so that's simple enough. Now what we can do is we'll just load it. We could just load it, right? Because we haven't created it. We haven't created this variable. We haven't declared it outside of the save. There is no variable outside of that. So if we want to call it, we just call message. We'll just declare it here with the load. MSG is equal to rlish.load, and then we're gonna load the secret message file, right? Which is the name of the string. This is the serialized string, and it has no extension here, right? As you can see, it's not like tensor.jimmy. Okay, and now that's it. That's it for loading. Now if we type MSG, we'll get the loaded string. Hello world, my name is Jimmy. How clever, right? Now let's say we want to load the tensor.jimmy, right? We just do that. We can just create a different variable. We'll just call it I know, matrix. Matrix equal rlish.load. And of course, what are we loading? We're loading that file, tensor.3d.jimmy. Actually, let's make a typo, right? Intentionally. So it says no such file directory tensor.3d.jimmy, right? Because it's a typo, right? Just like it's just to stress test the whole, just to make sure that you see that we are loading an external file, right? So now let's type it the right way, rlish.load tensor3d.jimmy, and so that works. See? So now every time we call matrix, we'll get that 3-dimensional matrix. Okay. So that's it for the tutorial. If you'd like, you can keep watching, right? What I'll go through now is just doing everything. We can also write these as scripts, and so we'll start with that now. Right? Where was it? Okay, here. So you remember what we did here, right? So for scripts, the same protocol. Just import numpy as np import relish, just as itself. And now we'll just create a matrix. We'll just call it super A, because it's going to be bigger. np.random.rand randint 0 to 100, and we'll just create it. We just created 20 by 20 is too much. 15 by 15 by 15 matrix, and I'm just gonna save it, rlish.save, and well, as you can see here, right, when we're typing it in Visual Studio Code, it gives you details if you've uploaded, once you've installed this package, of what the save, our save method, what inputs it takes, right? So you can see it takes a data input, which is the data we want to save, obviously, a file name, which name we want to give it as a variable, and the format, which defaults, the serializing format, which defaults as pickle, right? As I mentioned, there's two different formats you can choose. You can choose pickle, either pickle or joblib. And joblib, if you're dealing with large arrays or machine learning models. So let's actually go with that. Okay. Let's save super A, and we're gonna save it as my super matrix. Okay. And let's call it I don't know, Maxwell as an extension. Okay. And now the format, it's going to be joblib now. Okay. So now that it's done, we'll just run the whole thing. So we're going to open a new terminal. Okay. And we're just gonna, oh no, sorry, no need to do that. Okay. So we're just, after we open that terminal, we're gonna call the script by python script.py. We're in the right directory, so that's just what we'll do. And now if you see, it's just created, you see on the Visual Studio Code tab side on the column tab on the left, you'll see that it's created a super matrix.maxwell file with its meta appendix as well. And you can see that this meta file now has the joblib specification, right? So if you if you would like to load my supermatrix.maxwell, you don't need to specify that you've saved this as a joblib format, right? So I'll just show you here. Super A, we're just going to load it through the terminal, rlish.load. What was it called? My supermatrix. Oh, that was a long name. Maxwell. Oh, whoops. Okay, and we're just gonna, this is as simple as that, right? rlish.load, name of the file, and that's it. And now if you call it, we'll get a, oops, we'll get a large matrix, right? This is our my supermatrix dot Maxwell. Okay, so I guess like that's what I was really what I wanted to make the package about, just simplicity. You know, you just don't even like make it even like reduce it in simplicity even more than pickle and joblib. So that would be basically it. If you'd like to stick around, we could show you. I'll just show you in another example. Let's see what else can we do here. I'm not so sure. I believe there's a way, right? rlish.load. We can just show you what the inputs it has here. And of course, it can also have a format here that you can specify. You know, that's if you don't have a meta. If you don't have a meta file, let's say that this one disappears for some reason, or you delete it accidentally or something. Just move it to trash, right? So if we go to our terminal and we do this again, it will give us an error because the meta file has been deleted and it defaults to pickle, right? And we're not loading a pickle file, we're loading a joblib file. So what we need to do in that case is, if we get an error like this, we're just gonna need to specify its format here. Format is joblib, and it will work. Super A. All right. So I believe that's it. Actually, that's all I needed to show. It's as simple as that. That's how it works. All right. Thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.